All right. Well, welcome, friends, to your Sunday morning practice. And so we're going to move a little bit into the shoulders in this practice. And I just want to gift you this little 4-part shoulder gather in just before we center class. So I'm just going to turn to the side just so we can see. Hopefully we can see, but you're going to take your hands, just hold them in front of you like you're holding a wall. Okay, now push whatever it is. Your arms can stay bent, they can go straight. Push that away and let the heart space come back and the shoulders come forward. Like you're almost, you're pushing. So your heart would come in, the shoulders come forward. Now take these shoulders up to your ears, but lift the sides of your waist. Like lift yourself tall, head comes up. Now take these shoulders back. So the arms are just there for decoration now. Just take the shoulders back. Now take them down. Now I'm just going to release my hands just so you can see. So I have all of this. I'm going to shine the heart through. And you can keep your hands like this. Lift yourself up. Okay, now hug the shoulders into their sockets. So you hug them in. Lift your heart. Okay, now take the shoulders down a little more. Lift your heart. Now stay like this. One big breath. Put this in your memory. And now release your hands. Let everything go. Close your eyes and breathe. And you might feel just from that little bit, the breath is more expanded in your heart, in your chest. Maybe you already feel a little lifted. And take one more breath as you are. Full breath in, full breath out. Inhale in this place. And as you exhale, bring your hands together in front of your heart, bow your chin, soften your jaw. Breathe into your body, your space, your place. Reverence and awareness. Take a full breath in and breathe out. And we'll open practice and chant Om together 3 times. Okay, inhale. Bow your chin. Release your hands to your thighs. Lift your chin and open your eyes. Okay. All right. So let's start with a downward facing dog. This as a way of getting in. And as always, if you prefer that to be a child's pose or even just, I don't know, what else? Puppy pose. So you're on your hands and knees and the hands come forward. Melt down. So either one of those 3 poses. And just taking 5 or so breaths. Let your body move in whatever way. You can close your eyes. Feel into your own space. And if your calves are tight, the legs feel tight, ankles feel tight. Might move those joints a little bit. So bending your knees or your ankles. Good. Okay. And then we'll come down into child's pose. And the knees can be apart, big toes touch. Take the hips to the heels and then lower your head and chest down. And so if you're somebody who's in a place where you have to choose between hips to heels or forehead to floor, you're going to choose hips to heels. And then your head can lower, you can support it if that's there. And take as beautiful, full grounding, centering. Breathing. Melting. I'll take a full breath in. Stay here, but let that breath go. You might even stick your tongue out. And then with your forehead supported on your hands or on the floor, start to turn your head side to side a few times. Massaging your forehead. Rotating the neck a little bit. Good practice. And then coming to center. Take full breath in. Melt. Good. Come up to hands and knees. Good. Let's separate the feet apart. So even just move the feet out, tuck your little toes under, walk your hands back, lift the knees up off the floor, and come into this version of squat. And so your feet your heels don't have to touch the floor. You know, if you make it, you can jump, find your comfortable stance, and then just start to rock front to back. So we're taking a wrist stretch, spread your fingers, and you're opening your feet. You think about your hip joints are rotating a little bit here. Okay, and then settle back into your heels. Even if they don't touch the floor, walk your hands farther in front of you. Open your knees apart. Drop your body in between here. And then the hands are there to ground you. Feel like your heels can drop to the floor. Your head can curl in. Good. And from here, friends, we're just going to walk the hands back and come to a forward fold. So you'll just lift your hips up high to the sky. That's where I always say puppy yoga better than goat yoga. Yeah. So just come up into your forward fold. Separate your feet, comfortable distance. Rock your hips. Again, we're just getting into this body, these legs. Maybe you bend one knee, shift your weight over to that side and the other. Just still rocking side to side. Okay. And then coming to center, parallel your feet and fold in between your legs. Okay, if you need to bend your knees to release your back, then pay attention to that and let that happen. Let your head go, your jaw go. Breathe. Okay, and then from here, we're going to move back into downward facing dog. And so you either can walk your hands forward, but if you're feeling a little playful, then you bend your knees and you shift the weight back. And now I just take my arms right, my hands are off the floor. I'm reaching, I'm looking to where I want them to go, and I'll just take it forward for fun. Walk your feet or jump your feet back. And this time in downward facing dog, bring your big toes to touch. Sweep your left leg up into the sky and just stretch through your legs. Like, can you make the legs wider apart? Press the hands firmly into the floor so the shoulders move towards your ears. Good. And now we'll step this left foot to the outside of the left hand. And the right knee can come down to the floor. And then we're just going to rock front to back like we do. So you might pop up on the pads of your fingers. You might even, I don't know, maybe if you need blocks, you grab blocks. Let the left foot kind of move too. So as you pull back, maybe the sole of the foot lifts up. Good. Okay, now you've got this action, and we've got the legs, a little bit in a non-linear shape. Next time you come forward, left foot comes down. Turn your head to look over your right shoulder. Now take the hips and shift them more to the left. Now come back, and the hips are going to come towards that right leg. The left leg straightens. You look over your left shoulder. You come forward, look over the right shoulder, shift the hips to the left, circle your hips back, come back to straight leg. Good, that's it. So the foot comes down, look over your right shoulder, shift your hips to the left, and then circle them around. Come back. One more. Come forward, shift the hips, circle. Good. Okay, now stay in this shape. Tuck your right toes under. The right hand's going to stay where it is. You might bring it in. You're just going to lift the left arm up. Breathe here. Okay, now this hip, look, I can lift and lower my hip. And I'm gonna try and keep it low. Pull it back, open, breathe. Release your hands, come back, bent knee. Stay here, tuck the right toes under, lift your gaze. Start to drop this left knee out to the left side. Sole of the foot kind of lifts, you come onto the outer edge of the foot. Push the outer edge of the foot strongly into the floor. Just feel your hips move. Good. Okay, take it back. I'm going to sit on the heels, the toes tucked under. And once I'm on the heels, so if that's too much, tops of the feet is fine. I'm just going to walk the hands forward and come into this version of child's pose with the toes tucked under. You can tuck your chin, drop your head to the floor if that works. Breathe here. Good. Okay, and now from here, friends, we're going to kind of move into pounce downward dog. So start by spreading your fingers, anchor your hands. Feel that the toes are tucked under. Now you'll come up through cat pose. So as you come up to hands and knees, round the back up, tuck your chin. And as you exhale, press back, downward dog through cow pose. So the tailbone lifts, the belly drops, and you press up and back, downward facing dog. Good. Okay, big toes touch. Right leg's gonna sweep up into the air. Then look at your left leg. Split your legs. Press through the heels. Press the hands down and away. Let the shoulders move forward. Good. All right, now sweep this right foot to the outside of your right hand. Lower left knee to the floor. And then we come back to just moving. And the two sides could be different. So adjust what you need. Move with your breath. And let the foot move, but stay curious. What's happening to the underside of the leg as you pull back, sole of the foot. Okay, the next time we come forward into your lunge, stay here. Take your head and look over your left shoulder. Now move your hips to the right. And it's almost like you're opening up your pelvic floor, and now you shift the hips back. As you straighten the leg, look towards your right leg, then come forward again. Turn your gaze away, shift the hips, circle them around, come back. Good, let's do that 2 more times. Move with your breath. Just feel, you're offering in this, we're moving front to back, but inside there's this circling happening. Circulation happening. I think I said 2 more, but this is it. Okay, the next time you come forward, no, I think we stayed back. Stay back. Keep the left hand where it is, or walk it in. Put your weight into the left hand. Sweep the right arm up. Okay, now that right hip is probably hiking up. Can you pull it down? So it's not lifting up to the air, it's drawing down. Open. Press the right heel into the floor, left knee, smile. Good, and then come back. Both hands down, bend into your knee, come forward. I forget now. Oh, we just went back. Yeah, okay, go back. Both legs back, tops of the feet on the floor this time. Bring them right toward, so they're touching. Let your hips come down, and again, it's child's pose. Maybe the hands walk forward, maybe the head can come down to the floor, but maybe not. So that's okay. Use your hands to support you. Let your head go, breathe into your back. Good. 1 more breath. Okay. Now I'm just going to walk the hands back and sit in Vajrasana, thunderbolt pose, sitting on the heels. So I know it's not good for everyone. Heart just flipped into sitting cross-legged. It's all fine and lovely. Okay, take your gaze down the bridge of your nose or close your eyes. Breathe. Good. Okay. So I'm going to stay in this pose. It's comfortable for me. I'm just telling you because we're going to do a few things here. So if it's not comfortable, make it comfortable. Pause, okay. I don't know what is happening here. All right, now we're just going to take the right arm up, and I'm just going to turn to face behind you. So take the right arm up. Good, and now turn that palm behind you, drop it behind your back, just whatever you touch here. Take the left hand up and over, grab hold of this elbow. And you press the elbow into the hand. The hand is going to, kind of resist. And start to invite this elbow to come behind the head more. You might even just rock these arms a couple times, like the elbow pushes away, the hand says, no, come here. No. And then just do this a few times. Okay, notice I can feel myself. I'm arching my back a lot. I'm going to bring the bottom ribs in. Then try and lift the head, and then we'll come into the pose. So you start to bring the elbow back, the head pushes in. Soften through your left shoulder a little bit. One breath. Good. Release both hands to the floor. Pause here. Okay, if you're sitting in Vajrasana on your heels still, then you might want to move into a downward dog just to stretch the legs. So just a little interlude. And if you're sitting cross-legged, just change the cross of your legs. Okay, I'm going to come back and sit on the toes this time. So whatever floats your boat. I'm not saying this float. It does kind of float my boat. I like it. Okay, so we sit here. Pause. Breathe. Okay, now take your left arm up towards the sky. Yeah, turn the palm to face behind you and drop it behind your back. Whatever you touch here. The right hand comes up and over, grabs hold of the elbow, and we move into this little play, pull me, play you, just side to side. Okay, so you make it what you need to. You can take your ribs back a little bit, lift your chin, and then settle in. So take that right elbow behind your head if it's going to go. If it doesn't go, it's fine. Drop the shoulders. Lift your heart. Breathe. If you're on your toes like I am, your feet are working. You're pushing the toes into the floor. Maybe it's more the balls of the feet. And then I can push my heels back and I get into the shins. Good. Okay, release. Good. Either sit or take a downward facing dog. You might even smack your feet out if you've been on the tops of your feet for that long. And then we'll just take it back. Breathe. Okay, whatever this is, just release. Good. All right. And then we'll all meet in hands and knees. Now coming to your hands and knees. Okay, we're going to move into forearm dog. So we walk the hands farther in front of you. You turn your inner elbows to face out. So that's, the inner elbows. Drop the forearms down. Now bring the forearms in a little bit. Hands together. Interlace your fingers. Okay, take that little pinky that's on the bottom and make a little pinky sandwich. Pinky on pinky. Okay, then come up to your forearms and knees. And look at your elbows. Are they very wide? Can you bring them in a little bit? Then press the forearms down into the floor and press them out. So they're not really going to move. You're just going to move more onto the outer skin of your forearms. Take your shoulders away from your ears. Bring your heart forward. Maybe the chin lifts a little bit. Shoulders away from the ears. Heart forward. Belly in. Tuck your toes under. Inhale. Exhale. Press up and back. And as you push up and back, walk your feet in towards your head. Drop your head. Push the forearms down a lot. And then take the shoulders away from your ears. Breathe. Okay, from here, we're going to walk the feet back into forearm plank. Let's take them for a walk. Adjust your forearms. Move the shoulders away from your ears. Push the heels out. One more breath. Now just drop your hips. Open your hands and move into Sphinx. Shoulders back. Yes, I love you. I drop the shoulders towards the elbows. Extend your legs. Now keep all of that. Shoulders away from the ears. So they're really anchoring down to the elbows. Take your heart through, whatever that means. We feel the floor kind of pull back. Keep all of that. Drop your head, drop your jaw, close your eyes. Take your belly in a little bit. Breathe. And lower all the way to the floor and rest. And breathe here. And, okay, so come back up into Sphinx. Bring your forearms together a little bit, but they're still parallel to each other. And your hands are open, extended, and even you could even feel like if you looked at your wrist creases, you know, they're not, if you look at your wrist and you move your hand in either way, side to side, you can see how your wrist creases change, and you're going to try and make them even so that the hands are pointing right out, straight out from the elbows. Good. Okay, bring your hands together. Opposite, interlace your fingers, tuck the little pinky in. Now bring the elbows in. Okay, we're going to come up to plank. So you feel nice and strong there. So start here by taking the shoulders away from your ears. Press down into your elbows. Shoulders away from the ears. Shine your heart, tuck your toes under. Firm through your heels, belly in. You might want to adjust your forearms, whatever you need to do, and then lift up and find your plank. Smile, breathe. If you want to challenge yourself, maybe lift one foot up, one leg off the floor, and then the other leg. And then we take it to forearm dog. Walk your feet in, drop your head, press the forearms away, breathe. One more breath. Okay, knees to the floor. We're going to take child's pose. This time, take your hands all the way back, and maybe backs of the hands rest on the floor. You hold your feet if that's possible, but let the shoulders drape, chin drop. Breathe. And one more breath. Okay. And then just bring yourself to come up to sit. Good. However it works. Just take a few moments here. Just bring everything in. Good. Okay. So take your hands in front of you, like we did at the very beginning. Spread your fingers. Bring your elbows in. Okay, now let's start like this. I'm just going to change the order a little bit. Lift your shoulders up to your ears. Now take the shoulders back. Drop the shoulder blades down. Take your belly in. Now push that imaginary thing away. Push it away. Okay, now keep the heart back. And we've been doing this in class where I say, like, take the heart back, belly back when you're balancing. So you keep all of this, but now take the heart and shine it through. So the shoulders move back. You shine it through. Okay, now keep all of that. Now I'm sitting on my heels, so it's easy to just come down to forearm dog. If you're in hands and knees, cross-legged, you just fake it till you make it. But we're coming down, back to the forearms. Okay, I walk my knees back this time. So walk, okay, I'm gonna stop with it this time. Bring your elbows in a little bit, hands together, interlace, tuck the pinky in. Take the shoulders away from the ears, shoulder blades together. So almost melt the heart down. Yes, now take the forearms and push into the floor like we're pushing something away. Shine your heart through. So when you take the heart through, you might feel the shoulders get really, really stable. Tuck your toes under. See if you can keep all that. Exhale, press up and back. And now walk your feet into a comfortable distance. And we're going to lift one leg in the air. So big toes touch. You might take your gaze forward of your hands. Lift one leg up. Okay, press the forearms down. Take your belly in. Now switch legs. Okay, nice and strong. Strong in the forearms. Good, come down. Okay, rest, child's pose, or I'm going to sit in Vajrasana. You can do whatever you like. Pause. Okay, so feel your breath. Renewed awareness to the shoulders. Okay, I'm just gonna move this thing I'm sitting on. It's a little slippery. It's brand new. Okay, but you can keep your blanket under your knees. Should be fine if you have it there. Okay, hands up. So I'm sitting like this. I'm gonna come back to forearm dog. Whatever works for you, it's all fine. Hands up. Okay, lift the shoulders to your ears. Take them back. Okay, now press something away. Move the heart back. Now shine the heart through. So it almost lifts up. The shoulders move back. Take your belly in. Exhale, take the forearms to the floor. Okay, off hands together. Opposite interlace. Tuck the pinky in. Walk your forearms in a little bit. Then find strong stability in your shoulders, your heart space. Let the heart melt down to the floor. Good. Now press the forearms into the floor. The heart will move back. Now shine your heart through if you can. It might lift your chin, belly in, tuck your toes. Exhale, downward dog. Okay, now I take the head, kind of drop it, move it, look at your feet. Walk your feet in a little bit. Okay, now I'm gonna lift the right leg up in the air. At the same time, I lift my gaze. That's just mechanics. Okay, now keep looking. Anchor the elbows, bend your left knee, and give a little hop. And when you give a little hop, the right leg kind of lifts up a little bit. Okay, before you get too tired, switch legs and give a little hop. Maybe you can do 3. Okay, and then come down. Okay, I'm gonna fall onto my back to rest. So knees are here, I'm gonna cross the ankles, roll over, stretch your legs and just fall onto your back. Open your arms out, rest like you're in Shavasana. Feel your heart space, opening, resting. Good. Okay, take your arms up to the sky. Palms face each other and do a little shoulder flossing. So you just reach the straight arms up, pull the straight arms down. Reach up, pull them down. Okay, reach up, stay here, reach up, feel what's happening in your tummy. And then exhale, take the shoulders down, feel what happens in the heart. Reach up, belly comes in, there's your stability, everything moving back. Take the arms down, heart opens. Stay here with the shoulders down, fingers spread. Now keep your belly, bottom ribs in as you start to take these arms up and over your head. And they can go slow. Try and keep the shoulders there. Now I'm gonna hit the wall, so I'm just gonna press into the wall. But if you can take your arms all the way down, then floss a little bit there. So you reach away, come back, and be curious. What happens in the rest of your body as it looks for stability here? You know, when we unplug the shoulders, the body looks for stability in the core. And when the shoulders come back, the heart can open. It's like a bird flying. Okay, drop your arms over your head. And if you hit a wall, just grab opposite elbows and do nothing but breathe. Breathe fully and completely into this body. Okay. If your legs are straight out, open them apart. So widen your legs apart. And now we'll take the arms out, not out shoulder height, not right over your head, but in between. Hopefully we have room here. You can always turn around hard and face the other way. Okay, so now you're here. You can keep your hands nice and soft. Feel your shoulders on the floor. If you need a blanket for your head, I hope you're gonna put it there. Right arm, just lift it up to the sky. So the left arm is out, right arm's up. Reach up to the sky like we just did, like your shoulder flossing. Feel what's happening. Now start to sweep this right arm over and towards your left hand. The whole body's gonna turn. Keep reaching past the left hand, reach. The body's gonna turn, let the body do that. Okay, now come back, but start with the leg, the hip back, and let that Maybe even take this right arm up and over your head as you bring it back. And then once you come down, big breath in, big breath out. Rest your right arm. Take the left arm up to the sky. And then reach up. Reach up. Feel for this moment what the body is doing. And now take this arm over, reach towards the right arm. Let the body turn, let the body turn. Reach away, reach away, reach away, reach away. And then to come back, start with letting the legs come back, hips back, as if you're untwisting from the bottom up. The left arm might trace over your head. Come to rest. Flop. Full breath in, full breath out. Okay, right arm up to the air. Open the hand to the sky. Open the hand. Reach up. Pause. Just reach and feel. And now start to take it over, but you keep reaching. You come over the left hand, past the left hand. Let the body turn. If the right toes want to tuck under, lift the right heel to the sky. That's going to turn you a little more. Okay, now starting with the right foot, take it back down. Find your untwisting from the bottom up. Let the right arm come over the head if it likes. Come back and rest. Full breath in, full breath out. And last time, left arm lifts up to the sky. Open your hand, reach up, pause, feel what's happening. Feel, even the back of your head, feel. Now start to reach. Take it all the way over, reach, reach, reach. Let the left heel, if it wants to come up, so the toes stay on the floor, you can twist a little more. And then untwisting, starting with the left foot. And unwind, come back to this open, resting Shavasana. Take a big breath in, breathe out. I'm gonna go to happy baby. So I might bring the legs in at the same time. Take your happy arms up, grab hold of the baby toe edge of your feet, bring the knees in, rock a little bit. So you're in squat. Good, okay. So a pose we haven't done in many, many years actually, is Bakasana, and that's crow pose. And I think a lot of you know it. That's when you're on your hands and you tuck your little feet in. So if you look at me, if I was on my hands, you know this pose. So we're gonna find it here on your back, like I just did. So take your arms out in front of you, like you're holding up the ceiling or the floor. Bring your little knees in, and the tailbone's gonna lift, and that's all good. Maybe the heels are gonna drop towards your hips, or they might even come to touch. Okay, however you have the legs, there's a bit of effort to hold them in. Now your hands, push the floor away. Feel the belly come in. Take your shoulders back, down, so the arms come down. Shine your heart, move the shoulders away from your ears. Open your hands, open your feet. Be in your Bakasana. And then relax. You can let your feet come to the floor if you like, with the knees together or the legs stretched out straight, arms out. Breathe. Okay. Good. I'm going to come to windshield wiper here and just rock the knees, let the hips move. And good. Okay. So just do this a few times. All right, friends. So from here, I'm going to come all the way back up and over into downward facing dog. Okay, so you can roll over to your side, take your time, but we'll rock and roll from here. I'll bring the knees in, rock and roll, maybe balance. Oh, so fun. Oh, maybe a little boat pose if you're into it, and then keep going. You can balance, boat, rock into your boat. Good. However you do this. Okay, here I go. I'm going to cross the ankles, roll over the knees, downward facing dog. I'll just flip myself around. Good. However you're here, you're here. Okay. So we're going to come onto the forearms. So yogi's choice. Either drop onto your knees and you'll lower your forearms, or stay in your downward dog. Turn your inner elbows forward to face out. Press back, and then you lower the forearms. And it's challenging. See, can I get them to touch at the same time? Maybe yes, maybe no. Who cares? Good. Okay, bring the forearms together. Hands together, interlace, tuck the pinky. Start to walk your feet in. Press the forearms down and away. Look at your feet. Big toes touch. Lift your right leg. Take your gaze forward. Find your shoulders. Bend the left knee, give a little hop, and the right leg acts like a lever. So if you want to watch me, you can see I take the right leg it's straight. At the same time as I kick up, I'm pushing the forearms. Okay, don't get too tired. Switch legs. Beautiful. Whatever you're doing is awesome. Switch legs. The other leg becomes the lever. It's tiring. Okay, when you're done, rest. Okay, rest. Because the next thing we're going to do is maybe come up. But again, I'm just going to work the steps and you just stop wherever you want. It's all beautiful and good. Because you're putting whatever you do, friend, is a deposit in the bank. It's opening yourself up to the possibility of what's possible. You know, I have this Facebook memory comes up when I went to go visit my niece when she was 7, and she wrote in her room in her beautiful handwriting, "Nothing is impossible because I am possible." I was like, oh, child. Yes, okay. So I'm going to come back through downward dog to lower down. That is some intense work for the triceps too. So I'm going to do that. But otherwise, you know, you're welcome to just watch too. And maybe I'll just demonstrate first and then I'll take you guys in. So I'll just do this really quick. So you're going to set up near your wall, just in the eventuality that you do kick up. And your hands are going to go maybe 2 inches away from the wall. So about like maybe that far. Okay. So I'll find that right by the wall. I set up, take the legs up. Okay, walk in. Then I'm going to do that jump. I let the head hang. The head doesn't ever have to touch the floor if you're using the wall. And it's all the same thing. So I'm really pushing my forearms down into the floor. I'll take the gaze forward just to get the hop because there's mechanics. So you can see I'm just moving the right leg up and down. And then I'm going to push down as I kick up. And that push, oh, you heard that nice bang? That's good. Then once you're here, maybe both legs come up. The wall's not going to break. Push down. I can feel my ribs are bananing forward. I'm going to take them back. Lift the head. Okay, now Rome wasn't built in a day. So whatever happens, just happens. And if it's like, I'm good, Joe, I'm just going to lie on my back and put a block underneath my sacrum. So I get this idea of inversion. That's great. Okay, and if you're here with me, I'm going to start in downward dog, like I said. So I'll put the hands 1 or 2 inches away from the wall, spread the fingers, come downward dog, turn your inner elbows, lower the forearms. So that could be like enough. You'll be like, oh, that was so much work. Okay, walk your forearms in, hands, interlace, pinky touches, tucks. Look at your feet, walk them in. Okay, now find your shoulders. Nice and strong. Okay, now doesn't matter which leg you lift. I'm gonna lift my left leg this time because it's good to practice both sides. Bend your knee, look forward. Now just push down and give a little hop and you might surprise yourself. Oh, amazing. Yes, 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 push those forearms down. Get your hips over your shoulders. That's the hardest part. Hips, then the butt to the wall, butt to the wall, butt to the wall. Yes, yes. That butt to the wall is the hardest part, especially for us women, because our center of gravity is here. So getting that over is the scariest part. But once you get the hips over your head, so you push the forearms down and you really get there. I didn't even see if Hart got up. But, oh yes, okay, good. And then it's exhausting. So once you're in it, you push the heels up, push the forearms down. That banana is going to happen. So he's going to work with taking his ribs back, plug those shoulders in. Okay, beautiful. Once you're down, rest in either child's pose, lying down. Integrate what you've done. And even if you didn't even get there, then maybe as you lie down and rest, you imagine yourself in this like awesome headstand. And you're like, look at me. I never thought I would do this in my life, or I haven't done this since I was 10, or whatever it is. You know, as a child, there's like that fun of trying to stand on your head. And when we're over 50, 60, whatever age we are here, it's like, let that thrill seep in like it did when you were 5 and 10. You got all the mechanics there. It's just that things have gotten a little dusty and crunchy. So that's okay. That's why we work the steps, we figure it out. Okay. 11:11, time of the angels. Okay. We're going to come into legs up the wall. And I'm going to show this. We might do this a little differently than what we've done in the past. So I'm going to take the bolster and I'm going to put it about halfway on my mat. I'm just going to change the view here a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to lie down so that my legs are up the wall, but maybe they're not, my hips don't have to be right at the wall is what I want to say. Is that you might have your legs at a very nice angle for you so that you feel your whole back is on the floor. If you brought your heating pad in, then feel free to, it's always kind of a nice thing. So that I come down and I'm going to rest my head on the bolster. Okay, once you take your feet up the wall, if you're like, oh, they feel like it's too much to move around, you might throw a strap around your feet or even just take a little blanket, put the feet in the middle of the blanket and then just wrap that around just to kind of hold your feet together as best as you can. Good. All right, let your arms open, your head, maybe even take your hands and you just lift your head, kind of move it around, and then let it come down on the bolster. Good. Okay, so do nothing here, which this pose just invites. I don't even need to say it. Let your eyes drop, jaw drop. And let your shoulders drop. Whatever that means, let them go. And then we can stay like this as you are. If you would like to take your arms over your bolster or interlace your fingers behind your head, or you could even take your arms under your hands underneath the bolster. So the hands just come maybe a little bit there and tuck them all the way in under your head or a little bit, just so we anchor and ground the shoulders in a different way. Feel your heart is lifting and your wings are resting. Good. Okay, stay in this restful place. And so without moving, I want you to imagine now that you are on your hands and your knees. And you breathe into your downward dog. You lower your forearms to the floor. Bring the hands together as you know so well, interlace. And then you'll set your shoulders so that the forearms are nice and strong, connected. Heart open. Walk your feet in. Lift your gaze so you're looking at your hands. And now kick up. And feel yourself balancing on your forearms. You're smiling. You're, wow, look at me. Legs are reaching up to the sky. Maybe you're wiggling your toes. Feel strong and connected. You could stay here forever. And then even looking around at the fresh perspective, the way you see the world upside down. And then lower yourself down so easy, lightly. Rest and find your imaginary body back into this shape. And feel a sense of imaginary accomplishment. That you are stronger and more powerful than you know. Your body is super intelligent. And the more it opens and frees itself, it's going to find its way into more interesting and exciting places. Okay, so just take 2 more breaths as you are. And then we're going to take the bolster out from behind the head. And if you need it, like if you're someone who, you need support under your head here, then you might leave it there and just take the arms up and over, resting on the bolster, maybe holding opposite elbows. But if you don't need it, take the bolster and just stretch it straight out so your arms are straight, and move the bolster so it's resting on your hands, maybe your wrists, maybe your upper forearm or your forearms. And just breathe here. Okay, stay as you are. Exhale, and then turn your head to the right. And you might lift it up like we've been doing and pull the back of the head more to the left. And just melting, feeling whatever this is, if there's tightness in the neck, any way you feel deep within the body, responding to this little tilt. Good. And then bring your head back to center. Pause here. And as you finish your next exhalation, pause, turn the head to the left, adjust your head, and then drop into your breath. And bring your head back to center. Release the bolster. And bring your knees into your chest, or rest your feet on the wall if that's better for you. And just hug them in and out. Rock a little bit side to side. Good. Okay, and then we're going to lower the feet to the floor. If you need to adjust yourself, go ahead, that's fine. And then take your arms out to the side. Okay, if you need something under your head, you can always put that bolster back in, or a blanket. From here, I'm just going to roll over to the right side. Actually, I'm going to go opposite you so you can see. So I roll over to the right side. Now I'm going to take the left hand, turn the palm down, lift the arm up off the floor, and now take that hand to the back, to your back. So you're on your right side. Maybe it's going to move right to the right side waist. So you're on your right side. You have your back of your left hand touching the right side of your waist. Back of your left hand, you're on your right side. Sorry, I'm just watching Heart here, trying to figure this out. Okay, so the back of the hand is all the way over. Now I roll back onto my back. Okay, now place your feet on the floor, lift your hips, take your right hand, see if you can find your left hand. So you hold the fingers, pull that arm underneath you more, and maybe take that right hand up towards, the left hand is the one you're on. Take it up towards your right shoulder, if that's going to work. So the elbow can move in more, and then lower your hips. And if that's like, no good, then just lift your hips and bring that hand back down towards the right hip. And then see if you can lower down. Okay, now take the left hand behind your head like we did, when we were sitting during our practice. Take it behind your head. Maybe the right hand is going to hold the left shoulder. Gosh, I hope I said that right. The top arm is the right arm and the left arm is underneath you. And then you might, naturally, you might just be rocking your knees a little bit. Breathe. And even just pressing the feet in, lifting the hips a little bit. So you put a little bit more weight onto your left arm, and then rock your knees a little bit. So maybe you're massaging something there. So my hips are rolling over my upper arm, my forearm. So that feels really nice. Okay. And then we'll just be here. You might keep the hips lifting. You might drop them down. Let the shoulders drop. Melt your heart back a little bit, even just imagining. Okay, we'll start by releasing the right arm. So you lift your head, right arm out, lift the hips, left arm out, both arms out. Just breathe. Okay, hopefully second side, less instruction. So drop your knees now to the left. Lift your right arm, turn the palm to face down, and take it behind your back. So you might lean right over to the left. Then come back on your back. Maybe the fingers are poking out from the sides of the waist. Now I take my left hand, catch hold of the right fingers if it's there, lift your hips, and then move that hand maybe up, maybe down, depending on whatever your shoulders are doing. Then I lower the hips. If that's too much, lift the hips, readjust. Now the left arm comes behind the head. Maybe you touch your right shoulder, maybe nowhere near it, and you just have your head resting on your hand. All lovely. Okay, and then again, you might start to rock your knees a little bit, play with lifting the hips and rocking, or just be curious and playful. What feels good? What gives you a little bit of access into this shoulder joint, hips and shoulders so connected. The whole body's connected. Okay, and then rest into whatever this is for you, with a little arch in your back, or you need to lift your hips. You can do this and still rest. If I keep the hips lifting, I'm going to soften the glutes. Let the whole body rest to the floor. Melt your heart space to the floor. Okay, one more breath. Full breath in, full breath out. And then release first the left arm, and then lift your hips, release the right arm, and breathe. Good. Okay. Good. All right. Okay, before we move to Shavasana, I am just going to lift the hips. I'll put the block underneath the hips, but you can also do the bolster because it's more handy. And if you're like, I'm good, Joe, I'm just going to slip into my Shavasana, then that's fine too. So from here, I'll just come onto the block for a few moments. Just let this be as it is. So the shoulders get very heavy and grounded, back of the head grounded. And if you want to play, you can always lift one leg up or both legs up, or just simply be. It's all fine. And so just to let this shape start to drop you in. If you want to take one hand and hold your third eye or circle around your third eye a few times as a way of unwinding and resting. That might feel really, really nice. Okay, so I'm going to come off the block. But if you're digging it and you want to stay longer, that's fine, always. And then we'll come into Shavasana. So I'm going to take Shavasana too, because we have the bolster here. And that's where I'm going to lie back over the bolster with the hips on the floor. So I set my heating pad there. And you can always put a block underneath the bolster as well, or a blanket there. And you don't even need to do this. You do whatever feels good, because we're just resting for about 5 minutes together. So, okay. So I'm just going to I have the bolster right behind me. I'm just going to lie back over it and let the shoulders of my wings open and receive this shape. The legs can be open apart a little bit if you would like to rest in whatever shape, my friends, even legs up the wall. Some place where you can just drop in, let your jaw drop, eyes drop. Feel your body free, strong, and rest filled. Settle your breath more deeply. Rest yourself more fully. Honoring all the work you've done by being still and calm. Staying as you are, just honoring your rest and even smiling into your practice. Just telling yourself that you did good work today. You made it to your mat, and no matter what the practice, you practiced. And so either staying as you are or beginning to find those little movements, stretching your arms over your head, wiggling around a little bit, and then bending your knees and moving into whatever you need. Or shifting and then coming to rest onto your side for a few moments. Nice. And if you're coming up to seated, take your time and just meet here whenever you get here. Nice. Oh, beautiful. So nice, you guys. Thank you. All right. Let's take a few moments. You're coming up to seated, and if you're still in Shavasana, you can even just bring your hands together at your heart or on your heart. And let's feel into your energy, your mental state as it is right now, and the open feeling you feel in your wing space, your heart space, capacity for your breath to move very calmly through your body. And inhale as you are, as you exhale, bring the hands together, bow your chin, deep honoring, devotion. This great act of self-love, self-care. That's what this is. There's no pill. There's nothing, you can go to the chiropractor and they'll do a lot of like yoga stuff with you and move you around. And that sometimes can be super awesome and very helpful. But you do offer that to yourself when you practice. So just honor all that you did, your own health and wellness. And as you inhale, grow tall, lift your chin, and exhale as you are. And we'll join together in our May We Be Blessed mantra. Inhale.
May we be blessed with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be healthy and may we be happy.
And we'll seal that with one Om. Inhale. And bow your chin. Om Shanti, Om Peace, Om Namaste. Take a full breath in. Breathe into your hands. Catch your breath. Put all your love, devotion, compassionate kindness, your word for the year. My word is savor. And then lift your chin and open your eyes. Offer that to yourself. And then offer that out. everybody here, the whole world, everybody. So yes, great love in my heart, my friends. Thank you so much for being here. Happy Sunday. Yes, that's right. Yay, good job, guys. So awesome. I'll see you guys on next class. Thank you for being here.